What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Anderson here, and third 0-0 draw in a row. Fourth draw in a row. Second 0-0 draw in a row at home. I don't know what else I can say that differs from the last match. We lack energy, we lack creativity, we lack finishing quality in the final third, but don't worry. I got this. Put me in, coach. Put me in. I got this, guys. I got this. But all kidding aside, this is last year's jersey. I wouldn't be playing in this. Yeah, I mean, Conte's lost his mind. I've talked about his subs in the past few games. This one takes the cake for me. This one has to be the most bizarre substitutions I think I've seen. Last game, I didn't really have a problem with the personnel or who. It was just too late. He waited way too long. This one does it within the 60-minute mark, which is a first for him. But he puts on William and Pedro, not a problem. Takes off Hazard and Fabregas. There are many problems with this, but let me talk about the main three. First of all, Fabregas, who is your creative player in the midfield, now we lack creativity in the midfield. And generally, he's very good at keeping possession. Yes, today the passes were off, but I think they were off for everybody. It wasn't just him. But I think you take him off, now your passing in the midfield loses something. You know, Bakayoko definitely doesn't have that passing quality. Conte does at times, but it's kind of erratic. So you take him off, and now you just lost your passing creativity in the midfield. You take off Hazard, second problem. I mean, do I even have to say? First of all, why are you resting either of them? They're not going to play midweek. You're not going to play them against Norwich in the midweek game. There's no way. You know, that is a game for some other players to get time. You're not going to play. You may put them on the bench and then bring them in off the bench, but resting them in this game where we need to win. We can't draw. We cannot keep drawing in the Premier League because guess what? Everybody below us is starting to catch up because we've drawn so many games. Liverpool and Tottenham and no, not Arsenal, but Liverpool and Tottenham are starting to catch up. Man U has already passed us again, even though we had a point on them. We let them get back ahead of us. And Liverpool and Tottenham are right up there. They're getting close again. Tottenham play Everton. Or they're playing Everton right now. Probably going to win that one. Liverpool playing Man City? Probably not. But, you know, anything could happen. This could be the day where they turn it on and Man City has a terrible game. You never know. And then they gain 3 points, which is 3 points we could have gained on Man City. And now Liverpool has gained 2 points on us. And we've only gained 1 point on Man City. Man U play Stoke. They're going to go 2 points further from us now. Because we couldn't get the job done at home. Because you're taking off Hazard, your best player. You're taking him off in the 60th minute. And I don't care if the passes weren't coming off today. It was not his fault. He's making great runs. He's doing as much as he can. He doesn't have help. Murata's standing. Bakayoko standing. Alonso making runs inside when he's looking for a run around him. He's just got no help. And then you take him off like, oh, you're doing a poor job. No, he was trying to do as much as he could. But he didn't have the help. So, first problem, creativity in the midfield. You've taken it off. Second problem, you've taken off your best player. Third problem, the two problem players that should have come off the field are still on. Bakayoko is still lazing around the midfield. Murata is still just diving every chance he gets. He's not holding up the ball. He's lazing around. Why are they still on the field? I can't believe I'm saying this at the professional level, but Conte, stop playing favorites. I don't care how much you like Murata. I don't care if he's like a son to you. He's not getting the job done. I don't care how much you like Bakayoko. I don't care if you came in and you thinking he's going to be a great midfielder. He's not getting the job done. This has to be the third time in these run of games where we've just looked kind of okay, where Bakayoko and Murata should not be playing the full 90 minutes, and they are. They're staying on the field for some reason. Neither of them are having a good game. Murata's done nothing the entire game. Let's keep him on the field. Bakayoko has not helped us at all. He's given the ball away so many times. He's barely doing anything defensively. Let's keep him on the field, see what else he can do. And then you take off Hazard and Fabregas. I mean, just the stupidity of it just speaks for itself. It's almost like you're saying, okay, this game doesn't matter as much. We can take a draw here. I want to look forward to the FA Cup match. So let's take off our best players to rest them for that, even though they're probably not going to play. I mean, how much more obvious does it get? So yeah, Conte, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going through his mind. I don't know if he's seeing something that nobody else in the world is seeing. But the subs have to get better. They've got to come at better times, first of all, and the personnel's got to be right. You can't just put on whoever you want to. You can't just throw out and say, oh yeah, let's just, all right, Willian goes on for Hazard, let's make that change. Because guess what? You're taking off your best player. I agree, Willian should be on. But Hazard's not the person to come off. I agree, Pedro should come on. He brings energy, he brings quickness. But Fabregas is not the one to come off. And that's the bizarre thing about it. I think the players that he brought on were right. It's the players he brought off that were wrong in this game. And the main thing about it is we need to go back to the 3-4-3. And that's what the lineup should have reflected at the beginning. The 3-5-2 has not been working effectively, mainly because Morata's not been giving you anything. And so here's the problem with that. When you've got 3 players up there, one of them's not doing anything, okay, well, you got 2 others that are helping you out. When you've got 2 players up there and one of them's not doing anything, that's half of your attack. Bakayoko doesn't get up enough. Fabregas doesn't get up enough. They both stay too deep. And so the ball goes up. Morata doesn't help you. Hazard's trying to do it all on his own. We don't keep the ball enough up top when we only have 2 players because Morata's not been on. And so let's switch it. Let's change it to a 3-4-3. He did that, but he leaves Morata on, so you still got no help up top. Pedro and Willian, they did bring energy, and you saw more attack, but the final product wasn't good enough because there's not enough movement from Morata, which has ironically been the one thing that's been going very well for him this season. But his movement has not been good enough. And so they're making all these great runs, they're moving the ball very well, but then they're trying to move the ball in the final third, and there's no help from Morata, so they can't get the job done. If Hazard had been up there, it would have been free-flowing. It would have been boom, 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 moving the ball around so well. But no, you took Hazard off, you left Morata on, you've got a problem. In the midfield, we were controlling the midfield fairly well for most of the game. Conte was doing a good job of shutting people down. Rarely did they get at our back line, and even when they did, it was like Conte was there to help out. The problem was the passing. And I think mainly the passing, even the passing from the defense was pretty poor. I think the biggest problem with that was the lack of movement up top. Morata's not really helping you. And so you try to give the ball to him, and then they step in front of him because he's stagnant. So let's get somebody else up top. Okay, you've done that. Well, let's make sure that we have somebody in the midfield that can pass. Well, you've taken off Fabregas and you've left Bakayoko on. There's your problem. He doesn't pass well. And even when he does pass well, it's like he's got something else on his mind that nobody else can see. He's on a different page. So yeah, that's my rant about Conte. Like I said, I don't know what he sees. I truly do not see what he sees. And I've been one of the people that's kind of had a grace period for Morata and Bakayoko. A lot of Chelsea fans, you always see those fans, and the social media picks up on it so much. Those fans that kind of just go on a rant of players after they've had 1 or 2 bad games. I was not one of those people. Bakayoko had a few bad games. I'm like, you know what? He's young. Let's just give him some time, see if he progresses. He hasn't. And it's been well into this bad run that he's had, and nothing's changing, so why are we still giving him playing time? Morata, a lot of people loving him at first. Some people were a bit hesitant to say, is he going to be able to take Costa's role? He got a bit of a slump. People started turning on him. I was like, let's just give him a few games. He's young. He's, well, not young, but he's younger. And it's a different league. La Liga, Premier League, 2 completely different leagues. So let's just give him a chance to kind of get adjusted, see if he can get his feet in here. It's been several games now, and he's still not there. He'll have that one breakout game where he gets a goal, and it's like, holy crap, Morata. But then, this is a run of 4 games now where he's just done nothing for us. He's not helped us at all. The Arsenal game is where it started. All the one-on-one chances where he just missed, right at the keeper. Nothing out of that game. Confidence dropped, and then just producing nothing since then. 3 games in a row, no goals. That's embarrassing. For a team of our quality, that is embarrassing. Now, Batman hasn't really proved himself either, but let's change something. Let's make some changes. Let's try to do something. Because there's no changes at all. Everything's just the same. And that's the biggest problem that I have right now. It's not the fact that we're having issues that, there are players that are playing poorly. No, it's the fact that there are no changes to it. There's no change in style. There's no change in personnel. There's no change at all. It's just, let's play the same formation. Let's play the same people. Let's make the same subs. And it's not helping us. 4 draws in a row. And 3 of those no goals scored. 2 of those were at home. It's not good enough. And the fact that we've got Norwich coming up midweek in the FA Cup, we got a second leg against Arsenal at the Emirates, we got Barcelona on the horizon in the Champions League. These games, these performances are not going to cut it. We're going to get crushed by Barcelona. Norwich could pick one at our place. Arsenal could dominate us at their place. And we could be out of all the competitions and not going to win the Premier League. We could have 0 trophies at the end of this year after having a great season last season. So, yeah, that's pretty much my rant on this game. I could go into individual performances, but frankly, I feel like I can just sort of judge really quickly on a whole. Like I said, defense has been fine, and that's probably been the one bright side of these past matches. Has been our defense has been good. Aside from the Arsenal game where we gave away 2 cheap goals, which even then, one of them was a bit more of the midfield, and the other one was Zappacosta not closing down a cross. So, I look at those 2 goals, I'm thinking, well, aside from that, though, our defense was very solid. Past 3 games, not really any problem defensively. Even today, where, Leicester were taking it to us a lot, our defense did a very good job of limiting them to terrible shots. They had 14 shots and only 1 on target, and Courtois made a good save on that header. I mean, that kind of shows you our defense has been doing their job very well. So I have no problem with them. I will say Cahill being out is a little bit scary just because that means David Luiz is probably going to get some more time, and he just isn't good enough. And it's ironic for me that I'm actually thinking, oh no, Cahill's hurt. If you'd asked me at the beginning of the season, I'd be like, Cahill's hurt? Yes! But now that he's kind of started to find his rhythm, Christensen's done a very good job of sort of anchoring that back line and limiting, the Cahill problems. So now that that's sort of become a non-factor, Cahill's problems, now I am kind of concerned that he's hurt. So, just kind of funny. But Christensen came on in the center and did a very good job of integrating himself into the game very quickly, because that can be difficult to come off the bench with hardly any warm-up at all and then integrate yourself into a game that's pretty much mostly you defending the attack. So, our wingbacks didn't provide much of anything today. Moses, pretty ineffective as far as his delivering, as far as just, everything he did. It felt like he wasn't really creating a whole lot. The few chances he did create were pretty good, but the problem is not enough movement from the center forward. Alonso just didn't provide much of anything, and it's becoming more of a problem where he gets up in the attack and then doesn't help us out defensively. Rudiger was stuck having to guard Mahrez for the entire game because Alonso's just all the way up in the attack. We lose it and just jogging back, and it's just not helping us at all. In the midfield, like I said, Bakayoko is the problem. Fabregas, not the best game from him. He's been in a little bit of a slump recently, but I still think he has the creativity to unlock a defense if we need him to. It's just the game was pretty fast-paced at first. I think if you take some of that pressure off of him by providing more help up top, I think he could do fine. But because he's having to do a lot of the work and trying to find a ball to one man who's not moving, I think it kind of hurts his game a little bit. And then Conte, he's probably one of the few that has been consistently, well, aside from our defense, that has been consistently good throughout this stretch of bad games. And then the 2 up top, Hazard, like I said, he was making some mistakes. Some of his passes weren't coming off, but you know what? He was trying. He was giving it everything he got, and that's a problem when your other player up there isn't helping him at all. And so I think if you take off the person that's not moving and give him 2 players that are going to help him, I think we're much more effective that way. And so, yeah, Morata, I'm not saying, bench Morata and Bakayoko and just kill their confidence, because obviously they're low in confidence right now. But don't just keep giving them game time. Because that's just, you're fueling something, you're giving player game time that doesn't deserve it, and it isn't doing anything to change himself. That's not deserved. As far as the subs that came on, Willian and Pedro, they came on and gave it their all, but just a lack of movement, like I said, in the box that kept them from having that final push. And the only other thing to talk about is the red card. In my opinion, not deserved. The first yellow definitely deserved. He went in late, caught Willian. That's a yellow, and I think it was probably his second, third foul. But then the second one, I mean, just it was high, it was on his shin, but he's just going for the ball. He doesn't see Moses at all. He did nick the ball a little bit, which kind of put his foot up a little bit more. But I don't know. I thought that was really harsh for a second yellow. And all it did was just sort of kill the game to where now they sit back a lot more, and now we're definitely going to draw 0-0. So, but that's it for me. I'm just gonna be waiting. Something's got to give. Either Conte's got to make a decision and bench players that don't deserve it, or things are just going to keep going downhill. We're going to keep playing these average games. We're going to get knocked out of all the competitions, and next thing you know, Conte could be in danger of losing his job. And I don't want that to happen. Conte did a very good job last year, and even part of this season. He's done a very good job of making sure that we didn't just get into a daze where, last season we won, we're good. But he's done a very good job of keeping the energy up, and things could have really fallen apart after that first loss against Burnley, but he's kept it pretty good. He's kept it pretty energized. But these past few games is not no energy at all, and two of the problem players play consistently, and I think that's a big problem. If two of the players aren't playing the way that Conte normally likes players to play, and yet they continue to get game time, something's not right here. Something's not quite right, and things have got to change soon, or else we're just going to slip into obscurity this season and end up maybe not even finishing in the Champions League spot. So, that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this game? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews. I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out.